Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm Andy RC and today I'm going to be taking a look at the SYMA Z3, or is it SYMA? I can never remember how to pronounce it. This company was famous for a model called the X5, I think, and I went into a gadget store the other day and these toy drones slash quadcopters were just flying off the shelves. I don't know if any of those people who were buying those models will see this video, but I thought, you know, maybe it's time to check out this model. So it is a brushed folding drone. I think ever since the Mavic came out, these toy models fold. As you can see, it's quite windy here today. The wind is just doing that. What's interesting about these toy models these days is that they have altitude hold, and this one's got optical flow. So even though they don't have GPS, they should be pretty good at staying in the same position. Now, unfortunately, it is Wi-Fi FPV, so if you are not in the know about that, then that means that you get a fair amount of lag and you don't get great performance. I think it's 720p. As well, we've got a proprietary battery in the back here. I think it's 800 milliamp 1S, something like that. It takes 120 minutes to charge, which is a long time. Apparently we will get 8 minutes of flight time. We have got the SYMA or SYMA controller, so yeah, it's got altitude hold here. It takes 4 AA batteries. It's got a screw on the back to say that it's a toy. You also have to put this bracket on here for your phone. We have got the on button here, and sadly it is only in mode 2. I tried to mess around with the switches, but no, it is just a mode 2 transmitter, and I fly mode 1, so yeah, that should be fun today. And then we've got these two switches here. I think one does a 360 flip and the other one is a takeoff and land button, and I don't think these two do anything. We've got rates on here as a single press, so 2 different rates. If you do a long press, you've got headless mode, or hopeless mode as I like to call it, so I wouldn't recommend using that. And then over here you can actually trim it. So what I need to do is get this battery plugged in. We've got an on button on the top there, and I need to set a Wi-Fi signal and then go into the app on here. You have to download it from a QR code, but actually it's on the Play Store as well. I seem to be able to get it to work. If you choose the Z1 option, then that seems to work fine. This is a new model, so I don't think they've updated the app yet to Z3, but yeah, you get a spare set of props in the package, which is pretty nice. The charger, it's just a USB charger that just clamps onto the battery here, you know. So sadly only one battery, and yeah, I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to buy spares for it. I'm sure that must be the case, otherwise it's a 120-minute wait each time that you want to fly it. Yeah, no micro SD card on that, so they say 720p, but really it is just what it is recording on your phone, and if your phone stutters, your footage stutters. So it is a toy, and you know, it's fairly high price as well. Actually, I would have liked to have seen a micro SD card on there and it saved the recording on there, but that's not what we've got. So I'm going to turn this on, get the hotspot going, and let's see how it flies. Let's see if this optical flow works on a day where it's actually pretty grim and windy. Alrighty, so I've connected to the app and we have got the video. I'm just going to press video recording as well. It does take a photo. This thing's wobbling around a bit. Let's see if we can take off here using the usual in or out options. Yes, you can do that. So up on the throttle with this being oh, let me try a different rate there. Oh man, do you see that just fly away there? Oh, I think it's too windy for it. That is just flying away. Let me try and bring it forward. So yeah, to be fair, it is a pretty windy day here today, maybe 10 miles per hour, and we only have 2 rates, and yeah, not enough for this wind. So let's see how the optical flow works. I would expect a little bit of drift, but it does actually work. And they give you these prop protectors, so you could actually fly it indoors, and I imagine it would work pretty well. You know, just have to make sure that you've got a bit of flat texture, because what it's doing is the camera's looking down and it's trying to sort of use the camera to hold its position. But yeah, just looking at the camera quality here, and yeah, 720p, a very soft 720p, and it is pointing down at the ground, because it does seem to be actually holding against the wind. So if I point it that way, I can look that way. Just wonder if the camera angle is actually changeable. Oh, it doesn't like that. Let's have a look. I don't think the camera angle is changeable, you know. It is freezing out here. Let's have a look. No, you cannot change the camera angle. So on a windy day, the camera's just looking at the ground. So what else can we try? Well, let's see if I can do one of those flip things. Which button was that? One of them is to land and one of them is to flip. You have to hold it down. Yeah, there you go, you have to hold it down. And just enough rate for this to come back. So you need a calm day for this one, guys, you really do. But they do hold their position, it's quite impressive. Of course, when you start to take it up higher, then it's going to struggle a little bit more. But I've seen this before on these toy models. It's quite impressive, really, what you get with these toy models now. You know, that sort of DJI technology, it does follow its way down to the cheaper models once they figure it out. I'm not going to try hopeless mode, because yeah, I don't recommend it for anyone. And yeah, oh man, it is struggling in this wind. If we're gonna start getting sort of like a flashing light or anything like that for the battery, that would be handy. That's full forward in there to try and combat the wind, and it's just too much for it now, I think. Yeah, could do with a higher rate, I think, especially for this country. Let me still do the flip. I got confused then with me mode 1, mode 2 conversion. Still lets flips. Does it do back flips as well? Yeah, and forward flips, it does do that. But that is full forward to get it to come back around. Yeah, that's something that's good about these brushed geared models. I know there's going to be a lot of comments, man, haven't all the toy models gone to brushless? Surely it's affordable now. Yeah, it is. You get about a 2-minute flight time in comparison with this size. So yeah, they are still keeping them geared and brushed. It works. Feels like I've been flying this guy for ages. So that's into wind, and yeah, just a struggle there. But I'm just going to fly it to its death. Might just fall out the sky. By the way, you can just fly this guy off the phone, and it's got like a sensor in it. I would not recommend that whatsoever. And you can do waypoints and stuff, but there's no GPS with this model, so I'm not sure what waypoints it's doing. I would just avoid any of that, because with your phone you're going to get even less range, and yeah, I don't think that's going to be fun. But man, how long have we been going here for? This is like, yeah, on the recording here it's 8 minutes. That's not me putting any of that control in though. It's doing that on its own. I say doing it on its own, but it's the wind blowing it. So yeah, conclusion with this one for me is it's pretty decent actually, but it could have done with a SD card to record that footage for this price. It's got a great flight time and the optical flow is working, but it just needs a higher rate. Because if a beginner gets this and it's windy and you put it into that high rate, it's just going to fly away. And if you don't know the exact control to get it back, then you're scuppered really, and it'll just fly away into a tree, into someone's garden, and that won't be fun. So we've got the lights flashing here, so that's pretty good. Yeah, at the 9-minute mark, that's a great flight time, I have to say. So what I'm going to do is just stop the video here, and now let's press that landing button and see what happens. Gonna land itself. It's drifting a little bit, but there you go. Yeah, so 10-mile-per-hour winds could maybe avoid trying to fly this one, but you know, on a calmer day it does fly, and yeah, it does its job. So there you go. I'll put a link in the description if you wish to get one, and as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.